I live on a street that everybody likes to race on. Believe it or not, it's got a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, but they like to go about 55 on it. Anyways, hello folks. We're about to change the solar panel. It's time. It's twofold though. We're gonna take it off the A-liner, put a new one on, and that allows me to wash underneath it. So we're gonna clean up the A-liner, give it a good wax job, and take the panel off and put the new one on. Shouldn't really take more than a few minutes, but that's famous last words. Stay tuned, and we'll play the intro and be right back. Okay, yes, we are in the driveway. The house is over here behind me, and one of the things that means is that if you see the tripod shaking a lot, that's Aquila trying to knock it over, so I'll play with him. So I can't be out here and not let him out here, so he will be bugging us. This has been on here for 5 years now. I think we're just going to do the same thing. I'll show you how the solar panel goes into this frame. It sits in a frame, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on the bottom, 4 screws on the top, and I think that's what I'm going to do with the new one. They've got holes in there for nuts and bolts, and I'm just going to screw it onto the frame just like it was. So let me take this off, and I'll show you some of the fasteners I did, because the fasteners I used were pretty unique. A lot of people like to go to flexible panels and just glue them to the top, which you can do, but I don't want the top of my A-liner. I have a black panel on it that I can't get rid of. I don't mind the holes so much. I can cover them up a little easier than I can a big black panel that ripped off half the top. So let me get a screwdriver and the tools, and we'll get on this. Now, when I put this on here, I use these fairly funny connectors and just regular old everyday screws. These are really small screws, and I used these kind of nuts that go in. They go in the hole, and they're just that much against the wall. This is the wall against the edge of the wall, and these go into the hole, and they're pretty nice because they do grab the screw and hold pretty good. One of the things I didn't realize is how fast these were going to rust, and that they were going to loosen up on the road. Is this, you know, the A-liner shakes quite a bit going over roads and stuff. Of course, where I go, it shakes a lot. But these, I did find out that I had to tighten these up about every 4 or 5 trips, because they do come out. In fact, I lost a couple screws, so I've got to upgrade that a little bit. But those things did work really nicely. I really was pleased with those. The stick boy is around the bottom. What we're going to do, one of the things I did do was I bought the wrong kind of these. They have these little spikes on the bottom, and I tried to cut them down and bend them over, but they made these things stick out from the wall, from the thing quite a bit inside, which wasn't bad for this one, but from this one up here you can see it rubbed quite a bit, and it kind of, I don't know, left some nasty stuff there, though. I don't think it's really all that bad. You know, the last one's the hardest one to get out because the whole thing just falls to the ground. I also put some spacers, which I just cut some, this is the top to a Rubbermaid tote. I just cut it so it went under that, so it wouldn't rub and vibrate, and that worked pretty good actually. Alright, I got all the screws out of this side, and I put a 2x4 2 2x4s underneath, and I did have to lift it up to get that 2x4 to stick under there, so now it's holding it in there pretty good. So, and I just realized I did this when the A-liner wasn't all raised up. I'm going to have to get a ladder. This is way up here in the air. All right, I'm going to go to the other side and take those out, and I'll be right back. Somebody keeps bringing a stick and a ball, though. We got both a stick and a ball here. Watch this. He's got his important work fixing on him, and he's just hanging over here waiting for the deed. So I guess I got to kick one of those, or he's going to be mad. He doesn't like being on camera when he's being bad. He knows he's being bad. All right, you ready? Just a small note on the back side, because I'm not on the back of the trailer as much, but I've lost a couple of screws. I lost one screw there, and up on the other one, I've lost one screw there. So you do lose the screws if you don't keep track of them. So I'm going to Loctite them in this time. We're going to make sure they stay. So there are the two solar panels side by side. You can see the 200 watt is bigger, but it's not a lot bigger. I was surprised. It'll easily fit in my frame. I just have to make the frame, you know, it only goes up the sides. So it should go in the frame without any problem. And go back on it. It'll be a little wider. I won't be able to use all the holes, but I'll be able to use most of the holes. So got the one off. I slid it over the 2x4 so it didn't touch the roof or scratch the roof. And then when I got it a little on this side overhanging, I just tilted it all up and lifted it off. Good job, got it off, got it. Now to get it back on. So I have taken the side pieces, the frame, off of the old solar panel, and looking at all the screws and bolts and everything, they're all in pretty sad shape. They're pretty rusty, pretty ugly. I'm going to replace most of them, and that's really all I did. Is I didn't think you wanted to watch that because it sounded boring, but this is a nice little solar panel. It still works great, so I think I might put this under my bed and use it as an auxiliary solar panel. I can run it parallel and add another 100 watts, maybe 4 amps of solar power to the system. So I gotta get this out of here and bring in the other one. Ugh. Like the other one, we'll just put these on the side like this and bolt it on with just regular screws and washers, and not washers, but nylon nuts. We did buy some Loctite blue to hold them a little better. Loctite blue is you can still get it off with hand tools, no big problem, but that's all Loctite is thread adhesive, so it's kind of like super glue. I marked the middle on this one, so things will be centered on the roof. I think I need to mark the middle on the other one and on this. So I gotta get a marker. Let's see the middle on this. I think it's 34 inches. 64 and 5/8. So 32 and a quarter, we'll say. So that looks pretty right. Now, unfortunately, none of the old holes from the old solar panel seem to match up. So the question is, do I want to drill into the solar panel or move the holes in the bracket. So I'll take a block of wood, we'll put that under there to protect the panel, and I think we'll go through the old framing holes rather than try to drill new ones into the... We got all new screws and bolts and everything all set up here from Home Depot. Go on up, go on up, go on up. I don't mind the screws sticking up on that frame just a bit because I want to be able to grab them with a wrench if they don't ever come off, especially since I'm putting a Loctite on them. There's one. We got the two screws in. We didn't strip them or do anything bad to them. They're stainless steel, and now they're Loctited. So hopefully they'll stay in. I think I'll put two more. So I'll put 4 on the rails to hold the solar panel in, and then I'll have a good solid base. And then we're going to change all the screws on the end L connectors, all of them, no matter how good they look. Some of them look real good, we'll find out, but we're gonna change those and Loctite them too. So stay tuned. We'll finish this up and let you know what's next. So it will fit. That's the good point. Now, believe it or not, I could have had a larger, quite a bit larger actually. I could have gone to 300 watts, but I couldn't find one I liked. All the top screws are new. We're going to put new screws in the bottom and Loctite them, same as we did the top ones. Just to secure it, we're putting the old screws in here just to hold it in place while I get the new screws. Because one of the things we got to do is we got to re-drill the upper things because the solar panel's wider. So I have to re-drill new screw holes up in the thing, and yeah, I'll have some screw holes left open, but I'll take care of those. We'll cover them up with tape or something. Little duct tape. It's got to look good for the rally. I'm going to a rally in a week. Now, as I said, I got the front ones in the same holes they were in. The back ones have to have new holes. The ingenious method I have figured out to transfer these holes to here is to put a piece of tape over it. Poke the holes in there. And then transfer this tape down here where this one is. And just drill the holes. It'll all work. Let's see. Yes! I think that matches up nicely. Now I need a drill. Now these upper holes have the back wall, the back roof underneath it. So we've got to deal with that a little bit. But I think we'll get the front done, these drilled, and we'll be all right. So, we've got just one screw in every corner of the new solar panel. So it's mounted up there. It looks like the weight is good for the struts and stuff. I probably won't have to change the struts. The only thing it seems I did screw up on, which you got to screw up on something, right, is that I left the wiring all tied up in there. It's in the middle of the panel, all zip tied up. Hopefully I can reach through and get that from the other side. It won't be too much of trouble. Alright, we're going to try to slide one of these underneath here. We've taken the screw that was holding it in out. And now we just got to pry it up and get it back lined up. We're going to tape that nut to the back so it doesn't fall out. And we're going to tape this to the back of this so the holes line up. That's that. Now we just got to line up the screw with the hole. And I think we've got it. So, once you get one screw, it's easy. You don't need the tape anymore. Now we can drill those other. Now we can drill the other holes that go to this back bracket. Run a little emery cloth along the back of that, smooth out those holes, and we'll lag that down and it's done. So, 10 o'clock in the morning, the new solar panel is cooked up and working. I need to shorten the wires a little bit. I don't want these wires all hanging out like they were before. We gotta change the solar controller inside, so that's got to be done. But right now it's pumping out 4 amps, which is the max it did on a good day with beautiful sun. So we get a little more power. I like it. The upper mount, because it goes through the aluminum, the back side has the screws that poke out just a little. We're going to grind these down just a little to make sure they're flat and smooth so they don't rub on the lower roof. Can you recognize what superhero I am? That's good. So, now to do the other side. Right. We'll give it a shot anyways, just to make sure it's flat as possible. So the solar panel is back on the A-liner, and the A-liner is up in the sun. We shortened down the wires and pulled them in. We're gonna zip tie them up so they are a little neater, look a little neater anyways. And inside we installed the new MPPT controller, a Renault G Rover, and it has a display on it. But nobody really looks at the display. But this particular model, which is normally 115 bucks, I think, on Amazon, came with the Bluetooth part. So we installed the Bluetooth, and that is running on the tablet at the moment. And it is telling us the solar panel is running full 17 volts, 3.9 amps. And the voltage on the battery is 100% at 14.5 and a current of 4.59. So that's pretty good. And one of the ways I like to check that is we'll go into our refrigerator, turn it on, and as it goes to DC, then the solar panel, because the battery's full, the heater in that refrigerator takes on power. You can see the current blowing through the solar panel and the battery going down to 98%. You got to have a load on the system to really test it out. So coming into the battery, it's pushing in 11 amps, but the battery is still going down, even using all that solar power. And the solar panel's putting out the max that it can at the sunlight it's got. It's 12 o'clock, so it's pretty good sun. It might have a little tiny bit of shade, but not much. We're getting down to 80%. So this little Bluetooth thing is pretty neat. I don't have to crawl down in the corner of the trailer and watch that, which really doesn't tell me as much as this does. This tells me quite a lot. And that works on my phone, my tablet. So folks, that's the end of my solar panel install on the A-liner. It's not very informative to know what you need to know, but it's kind of beginners for how you might install a solar panel on an A-liner. I'm going to do another video on the calculations and the sizings of solar panels and what you can do and how they really work. So stay tuned for that. I got most of it done, but I just haven't edited it all together yet. So keep an eye out for that. That'll probably be in a couple of weeks because I got the campground, the camping, and everything else I want to do. I'd like to intersperse them, but stay tuned and we'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up if you thought this was any good. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or ideas on how to do these things. Any other videos you'd like to see. Always nice to visit with you people. So I love being here. I love you watching. Thanks for coming. Bye bye. Down to 79%. I'm thinking I should turn off the fridge. It jumps right back up to 100%. 14 volts. Just goes to show you can't trust batteries when they're on load.